So, welcome to the ECL language exam. Before we start the exam, I would like to ask you to say your name first and your candidate number. Let's start with the lady, please.
My name is Esther Gáspár. My candidate number is 215482612.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, my name is Pap Miklós and my candidate number is 1234567.
Thank you very much. Welcome to the ECL language exam again. My name is Robert Merz. I'm going to give you the interview, and let me introduce my colleague. Her name is Hanna Fercher, and she will assess your performance. Do you know each other?
Well, we have met each other at the training course.
So you know a little bit each other?
Yes, but we haven't spoken with each other before.
Okay. Then before we start the exam, in the first couple of minutes, I would like to ask you to introduce each other, try to find some information about the other person. Okay?
Yeah.
So just talk to each other, please.
Yes.
Ladies goes first.
Thank you very much. Miklós, where do you live?
I live in Pécs with my family. We have got a two-story house in Bagoly Street, 9 that's on the slope of Mecsek. Well, we have got a very big garden and we have got a dog also.
You like gardening?
Sorry?
You like gardening?
No, I don't. I prefer playing with computer games.
Yes.
So, and what about you? Where do you live?
I have been living to Pécs for 8 years. I live alone. I live in Kertváros Street, and I have a big garden. And I like gardening. Yes. And what is your hobby? Computer and others?
Well, I like singing and learning martial arts, like jiu-jitsu.
Oh.
I've been sailing. I started sailing when I was at the age of 7, and I've been learning this jiu-jitsu for, I think, 4 or 5 years. What about you? What's your favorite hobby?
My favorite hobby is traveling. I like traveling very well, and my dream is travel around the world. This is my dream.
Where have you been so far?
I have already been to Egypt and in European countries, for example. For example, Germany, Italy, and Romania, and others in the neighborhood. Yes.
Well, I've been to Croatia for.
By the sea?
Sorry?
By the sea?
Yes.
Do you like swimming?
Yes, I really like swimming because I need to. So for swimming you really need to know how to swim, because if you cannot do this then you will drown and you can die in the water.
Die?
Yes.
Oh. Yes, it is very interesting.
Yes,
I would like to study diving. Yes.
Have you tried extreme sports? Or?
No, extreme sports, no. I like skiing. This is the winter sport. I like it. And in summer I go to swim.
To the Balaton Lake or?
Oh, Balaton, yes. Near the Balaton live my best friend, and I often visit her, and we go to the Balaton. Do you have a brother or sister?
I've got a little sister. Her name is Kata. She's 4 years younger than me, and she attended Jókai primary school. Well, she's a quite small girl with blonde hair, and sometimes she is very annoying. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, let's start the first real part of the exam, and that is going to be a conversation. So you need to continue your conversation that you began about the topic. and the topic is environmental protection. Okay, so please have a conversation about how the dangers we are facing with, how you can save the environment, what can you do on a personal level to protect the environment. Okay, just continue talking, please. Thank you.
What's your opinion about this topic?
Thank you very much. In my opinion, the save the environment is very important things. For example, we have to use energy, nature energy. For example, the wave power, the wind power, the solar collectors, because this is very useful for nature.
Yes, I think the same thing also, because nowadays we usually use fossil fuels for cars, and usually industries work with fossil fuels also, and I think there's an air pollution also. What's your opinion about global warming?
Global warming is very dangerous because these days it melts the ice caps, and the level of the sea is rising, and it is very dangerous in countries, maybe.
But not for us. Everyone got sea.
Yeah, the sea. For example, the Netherlands.
Yes.
And
The temperature is getting colder,
yes.
hotter. So,
Yes.
but I think it's not a big problem because I do not like cold weather. So,
Yes, but on the other hand, if you use a hybrid car instead of oil cars, you save the money.
really?
Or I think
Is it much cheaper?
the energy is cheaper, but the car is not cheaper.
So it's more expensive.
More expensive, yes. But I read in magazines that in American, the very famous actors and actresses bought or buy this hybrid car.
Well, they have got enough money for this, but
Yes, they have got a lot of money.
we haven't got here. So, by the way, have you got a car?
Yes, I have a car, but I often go to use public transport.
Such as
In the
buses
city.
or train?
In bus in the city, and train when I go to Budapest. Yes, but I like driving a car.
Really?
Yes.
Is it a hybrid car? Or?
No, hybrid car. This is a normal car,
Mm.
but oil free. I think oil I use.
Have you got a bicycle at home? Or bicycle? Do you
Bicycle?
have it at home?
Yes, bicycle. Yes, I have bicycle. I like driving a bike, but I haven't got a lot of free time,
Yes.
fortunately. But in summer we often go to Villan with my friends, and this is very interesting program because we try to some red lines.
Yes.
In
You go there by bicycle.
By bicycle?
Yes.
Yes, by bicycle.
Much more environmental friendly.
Yes.
And Miki, and what do you do in your personal life to protect the environment?
Well, I usually try to use the electricity as less as I can, although it's very difficult because I really like listening to the music and watching TV, playing computer games, but when I go out from a room, then I usually switch off the lights, and usually that's all. So I don't drive a car, I usually use buses or driving a bicycle, or sometimes I walk. That's healthy also, I think, and with this I can protect the environment. And what do you do to protect the environment?
For example, the recycled paper. I use a recycled paper at home, and
Do you have a container nearby your house?
yes, the next street are some bins, other
So
waste,
one for the paper, one for the
glass, and plastic. Yes, and I often go to Tesco because I can go back the plastic bag there.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Yes.
And are you afraid of this global warming thing? So you're afraid?
Yes, afraid. It is a big problem. The drought, the African countries,
So
and
less rain and some.
yes, and on the other hand, flooding in America and storm water and others.
But scientists says that we are quite safe in here, between the Carpathia.
Yes, it is true.
Well, let's hope for the best. Finally, in the third part of the exam, I'm going to show you some pictures, right? As you can see, the topic of the picture, can you see that
Yes.
well?
Yes.
The topic of the picture is place of living. And this time, I'm asking you to not to continue your dialogue, just to have a monologue one by one, okay? First, I think you will present yourself. Please speak about this topic, place of living. And there are these pictures just to give you some ideas what to talk about.
Yes.
Okay? Thank you.
In the pictures I can see buildings and houses, and I live in a detached house and with a big garden. In my opinion, living in a detached house and houses is very good for people because you can bring up your children, and this is the normal environment, and in a house houses are in a village, and there is in a nature, and it is good for health. And other picture I can see big buildings, for example in New York. I like traveling, but I have never went to New York, but I don't like this city because there are a lot of air pollution. And other pictures I can see maybe a hotel by the sea, and when I go to abroad I often offer the accommodation in hotels, and I like it. And others picture I can see the normal buildings, and I think this is enough.
Thank you very much.
Sure, it's my turn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in this picture, I can see the flats and the houses also in these pictures. As I had said, I live in a two-storied house with my family on the slope of Mecek. We have got a quite big garden, which is good for our dog. Her name is Becky, and she likes to run in the garden and dig big holes, and I have to dig it back sometimes. So, and I have to gardening. That's why I don't like big gardens. It has got many works. But I like the fruits, what we have planted. As I said, our house has got 2 stories. On the first floor you can find a huge working room and a bathroom. Usually my parents work in the working room, and I've got my own computer there also, which is also a quite big one. We live on the second floor, which has got a bathroom, 3 living rooms, and 2 bedrooms, and a kitchen, of course. I like cooking also, because we have got a quite big kitchen. And although I've been living in this house for 18 years now, but I don't like it too much because it has got many works to do with it. So you have to paint, as I said, gardening and so on. You have to clean it, 2 stories. But I prefer to live in flats because they are much smaller, you have to pay less, and of course there are some neighbors, so you can borrow things like wine, flour, and things like this. People don't like living in flats because they said that air pollution in the cities is much bigger than in the gardens, but I'm not interested in this air pollution so much. I think I'm young enough, so it's not so harmful for me. And the other thing that I like is that I've got a much smaller place, and it's not so calm. I don't like calm places. I usually like the sound, the voices, and if there are many people nearby. And well, yes.
Thank you. I think it's just one last question. Where would you rather live, in a small village or in a big city?
In a small village.
Why?
I like. Why? Because there aren't air pollution, and I like gardening. And if you live in a city, you don't have a garden. And in my opinion, live in a village is calming.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. That was your exam.